when you start doing sport at your level, even at an early age, wins and losses starts becoming so important. So win and loss is important in everyone's life, in the sense that everyone has it in exams and school and things like that, which we'll talk about in a second as well. But for you, you're having it in a very overt way. Like you have 1, 2, 3, and then you have everyone else. And how have you kind of worked with that since you're young? Because I can imagine that your psychology can become very much like, if you win, things are great. If you lose, things are bad. How have you kind of processed that as time's gone on? And was there a time when it was unhealthy and difficult, and has it got better, or is it something you're always working on?
So on one side of things, I struggled at school, as I said. So the teachers would write these reports that I was not focused or I wasn't doing well. And I remember the fear of that report every year. And I try so hard to do well. And then these teachers, I don't know if teachers out there realize when they write those reports, what's happening back at home, whether you have an abusive household or, the stress of that was difficult. I feel in racing, if I could win, I could see a smile on my dad's face, and it was really like, okay, if I do well at this, I know that I'll be accepted, but I've got to work double hard to I've got to always be first. I always laugh about the whole, if you're not first, you're last, because I'm literally, whilst that's obviously I've not been first my whole life, first was everything.
Yeah.
In order to be accepted, in order to fit in, and maybe to be appreciated. Not only within my relationship perhaps with my dad, but then also around my friends. And it wasn't until I got older I realized it's about the bigger picture. But when you have success, it's so short-lived. It's like, it really is really short-lived. You win a race, then you go back home and you have as a racing driver, the weekend is so intense, you've seen it. There's so much energy, so much, it's really, really a stressful environment for everyone that's working within it. Then you go home and there's a huge come down like 1 or 2 days later, and you're trying to balance those emotions, that emotional roller coaster, and learning to kind of channel that and figure out ways to keep it balanced with your routine and those sorts of things has been really key for me. But I think during the last few years, really understanding that it's about the bigger picture. I'm fighting for something far greater than winning a race. I'm really fighting for change in the world. We're more divided than ever, I would say. It's devastating. I can't watch the news. It's devastating. There's so much happening. But there are so many great people out there that are doing really great things. And I want to be I want to be a part of that inspirational energy bubble that people like yourselves are a part of. Because we need to create a brighter future. We need to create better future leaders. Look how bad our leaders are that are in governments. We need to be inspiring the next generation of thought leaders that are positive. And so that's what I'm trying to be a part of every day. So I'm really trying to focus on my intentions, as you were talking about, like setting your intentions each day. I'm trying to learn new tools that I didn't have when I was a kid. I didn't know about yoga. I didn't know about meditation. I didn't have podcasts to listen to, good people to listen to, and aspire to kind of help me put on the right path. So we've got a lot of work to do, and there's almost not enough time here on this planet, right? We're here for such a short time, really, in the scale of the universe.
Yeah, but I think you're one of those people that, and that's when we first connected, that was one of the biggest reasons for me that I saw you using your platform for a bigger purpose. I was like, oh, that's fascinating. Like, that's so interesting to me, because that's a choice too. I think today we kind of assume that if someone has a platform, or if someone's, number one in their field, or if someone's got followers, that they should talk about stuff. We kind of assume that anyone who has followers should talk about stuff. First of all, I don't think that's the case. I think a lot of people choose not to. But you were someone that stood out to me massively, where I was just like, wow, this person's really not just winning on the track, but is thinking about how winning on the track transfers to what you can do off the track because of the influence, because of your network, because of your impact. And I find that to be really the missing link for so many people, because I always say that your purpose is something not just that makes you happy. It's when you use what makes you happy to serve other people, like when you use it to impact other people's lives.